channel and my coaching center. So today I'm going to explain 10th standard the rise of nationalism in Europe. Explanation sociology explanation. Social explanation. So let's come to the chapter. Okay, so let's come to the first topic, the rise of nationalism in Europe. So a series of four pages of portrait by Frederick Sorio in 1948, which expressed the nation of ideal states, that expressed the nations of the ideal states that was sent by the four picture that was sent, and and the imaginary manifestation of Frederick show the universal brotherhood. So the imaginary manifestation of Frederick shows the universal brotherhood. After that, the utopia showed the people the various countries like USA, Switzerland, Germany, Canada, England, and other have had same intention regarding freedom and liberty. So the utopia said there are many countries in the Europe, they are fighting for their freedom and liberty. And then the universally brotherhood was imagined by Baudelaire, who imagined the universal brotherhood, which was inspired with a democratic and social republic, that was inspired by democratic and social republic. After that, according to the portrait, universal fraternity in Europe could be obtained by Ellington characteristics of rights for its citizens. So, by the characteristics of right to a citizen, the universal brotherhood can be done, he said. And then the grassroot change took place in the political and mental arena of Europe due to emergencies of nationalism. So due to emergencies of nationalism, there was a change, and nationalism changed the multinational dynastic empires in the nation state. So the nationalism changed the many big multinational empires into a small states, national states. It changed. So let us know about the age of revolution, that was between 1830 to 1845, and the unification of Germany and Italy. So emergence of nationalism. So revolution broke out in the provinces of Ottoman Empire. So there was a broke out in the revolution in the Ottoman Empire, and Ireland, Poland after that a Ottoman Empire that was there, where the Constantinople was ruling. It was a huge trade. The Ottoman Turks, there was a Constantinople place, there was a huge trade. Ottoman Turks, the empire, Ireland, Poland, in the reaction of them, revolution was inspired by the literalism and nationalism. So they started revolution by inspiration of nationalism. And professors, commercial, middle class, elite, and educated middle class clerks inspired with nationalism, and they also joined to the revolution. They were inspired by them, and they also joined to the revolution. After independence movement of Greek caused a decimation of feeling of nationalism in among people. So they caused a decimation of feeling of nationalism among the peoples, and poets and artists raised the nationalism feeling. The poet and artist of Greeks also raised the nationalism feelings among the Greek people by shaping public opinion by giving the opinions against Ottoman Turk, and they were remembering the Greeks about the ancient culture and cultivation. So Greece got independence as a nation at 1832, at the year of 1832, due to emergency of nationalism among its people. It got the feeling of the nationalism or a nation was emerged with the help of arts, music, folks, all were there. And after that, a culture movement led by romantic artists and poets tried to create a collective belongs with culture. After the cultural movement was done, and the artists and poets tried to give their paintings, and they made these people to remember about their culture, tradition, past of the nation. After that, the spirit of German culture was popularized as a folk dance, folk song, folk poetry. So the German peoples was popularized. The spirit of German people was popularized by their folk dance, folk songs, and folk poetry. So it is used to put the message of modern nationalism. By that they were putting the message of modern nationalism to connect the majority of people who were to connect to themselves, who were to majority of people to connect to themselves, who were unable to read. They were not unable to read. After that, Poland was divided into Austria, Prussia, and Russia, but national feeling was alive. So the feeling about their nation was alive in the people by their musics and language. And Poland language played a major role in the promotion of nationalist feelings against the Russia. After that, Poland was occupied by Russia, and Russian language was started in Russian language. People started Russian language in the Poland. After that, the armed opposition against Russia was failed in 1813. So the Poland started armed opposition, but it was also failed. After that, Poland began to use Polish language as a symbol of opposition. So after that, as the Russian came and they started, Russia acquired and they started to their language as they started in the Poland. The people should use their language only. But what the Poland people did means they revolted against them and they used the Polish language, that was the Poland language, and they used that only as a symbol of opposition against them. After that, hunger, hardship, and popular revolt. So after that, hunger was started in the Poland. Let's know what so the rise of population in Europe. So there was a immense rise of population in Europe, and the condition of their employment was very much bad, as the population was more, but there was no more employment. And there were slums were made by the migrated people who came from the rural areas. They made slums and they lived in there. And after that time, the elites people were enjoying, and the peasants were struggling. So the rich people were enjoying and the poor people were struggling. In the same time, there was a shortage of food occurred because of dissatisfaction of employment. So because of no employment, there was a scarcity of food was occurred, shortage, and hungry and employment in the people came out from their home and forced Louis Philippe to flee. So after that, the people came out and they forced the Louis Philippe, who was maybe the president there. After that, National Assembly provided voting rights. So the National Assembly, the Assembly of the Poland, made them to Assembly of Europe made them to voting rights. The age of 21, voting rights at the age of 21, and above males, and they announced the Europe as a republic. After that, waivers and citizens had driven to rebel against temporary workers. They started to rebel against temporary workers who provided crude materials. They provided very crude materials of weaving and gave them orders for products, yet radical decrease their installments. They gave the order for the stop the products that are very much harsh for us. It may dangerous for us. So after that, 1848, revolution. So liberals revolution was started in 1848. So what happened means, in a mid of unrest, the liberal men and the women of the Germany, so men and women of the Germany, Austria, Poland, they started to raise their hands for a constitution. We should have a constitution. The Poland and German people raised their hands, and freedom of press and freedom of forming groups were started. And in Frankfurt, the businessmen, artisans, and other middle class people gathered, and 831 elected representative were reached Church of St. Paul. So 831 representatives reached Church of St. Paul, and they asked for drafting a constitution of a German country, and the government subjected to a parliament. The government also asked for a parliament. Then King of Prussia, the king who was there, who was called King of Prussia, whose name was Wilhelm IV, rejected it, and he opposed that election of electing of assembly by joining others. So he opposed that. Then the social base of parliament became ruined, ruined by the military and association, and it became stronger. They became stronger, and they wanted to make that and the middle class domain parliament lost its support and opposition the demands of the artists. So there was a demand of parliament and constituents became very more when the king said like that. Women also formed organization participated in the revolution movement, but it failed to get voting rights. So they failed to get voting rights in the assembly, in the election of assembly. So the system bonded laborers and were abolished from Russia, Hamburg dominions. So they bonded the system of bonded laborers. They stopped the laborers and they sent away from the Russia away. So national state unification of Italy, Germany and Britain. Let's know about that. So Germany. So in the nationalists were trying to unite Germany from after 1840 from 1848, but combined forces of Joker's military and monarchs of Prussia always suppressed them. So always they stopped their movement. The peoples of Joker's military and monarchs of Prussia, the King Prussia, the monarchs, they stopped them. After that, Otto von Bismarck a person called Otto von Bismarck who took the leadership of unification, making Germany as one. After that, William I, the King of Prussia, became the Emperor of Germany after three successful wars with Austria, Denmark, and France in the leadership of Bismarck. After winning the three wars against Austria, Denmark, and France, again with the leadership of Bismarck, modernization of Germany was started. They improved banking, legal, justice, judicial system, and they became model of for others by their growing, while their development. They became model to other people. After that, Italy, the only one Sardinia was ruled by the Italian princely house after division of Italy into seven parts. That was so after division of Italy in seven parts, the only one part was ruled by the king, and a pope was head of center. So a person called pope was head of center, and the Spain was the ruler of south, and Austria Habsburg was the head of north. So Spain, who was ruling the south, and Austrian Handmark, who was a king ruling the north, and young Italy was founded for the unification of Italy by Mazzina, but it was first achieved. First they failed. So first they tried to unification of Italy under the leadership of Mazzina, but they failed. After that, so there was a new phase to let them to start the movement again, and they were the Sardinia Piedmont who defeated the Austria. After that, Cavour and Mazzina, they again Cavour and Mazzina together, they succeed in the master support of peasants of two Sicilies against Spain, and they succeeded in Victor Emmanuel II, and they became the king of unified Italy. So they both became the king of unified Italy. Like this, the unification of king was started. Next is the Britain. So okay, friends. So next I will explain about the Britain in my next video. So till here you understand, I think so, about the rise of nationalism in Europe and age of revolution and unification of Germany and Italy, and emergencies of nationalism, hardship they faced, and 1848 revolution the people started, and Germany and Italy unification. So okay friends, I will explain the next topic in my next video. So till here you understand, I think so, like the video, comment on my video, and subscribe my channel Coaching Center for more video. I will explain the next topic in my next video. So till then, take care, have a nice day, bye friends.